And we are back. Sorry about the hiatus in uploading. The hiatus is indeed, or was indeed, life related. Because last autumn I returned back to my university studies and had less free time for recording stuff. It also took me by surprise that the courses I had chosen for that autumn and spring term were actually quite energy consuming, and I was nearing a burnt out status while trying to complete those courses, and it's really the loss of free time and energy, and I guess by extension motivation, that I had to stop recording. And then when the spring term ended and I actually had more free time, I was really drained out by the spring courses that I needed to recuperate some more. And then I went for an extended visit to my parents in June and returned only yesterday. So now I should have some energy and free time and motivation to do some recording, and more recording I will do. I do plan on continuing with Nahlak any day now, but during my absence from YouTube I did manage to figure out what was wrong with my Demise Ascension and the runtime 11 errors it generated, and when it eventually refused to start at all, what was the thing behind it. So basically the solution was to do some registry editing and remove some sort of DirectX conversion thingy that it had added to the executable, and that made the game start again, but the runtime errors did persist. So I did some research and testing and figured out that if I play it in windowed mode, the errors go away. But that's really messing up what I can actually get easily recorded with OBS, because it's either full monitor view or windowed view, and Demise needs multiple windows. Because if I start the map view and open it, well, it won't let me when I'm in the city, but the bigger map would spawn in a new window, so that would not get recorded by OBS if I wouldn't concentrate on capturing the entire monitor view. And really this window is really small in normal 1920 by 1200 resolution, because this window is 640 times 480 as far as I know. Or what was it increased to 800 by 600 maybe? So I really have to do some trickery to get it take full screen while in a window. So basically I'm moving my taskbar to the left hand side and zooming in on any of the window objects on the screen, and then I'm also downscaling my Windows screen resolution or the desktop resolution down to get this window to take most of the screen space. But yeah, I have done some off-camera testing and playing. You may see now that I'm a level 100 artisan, whereas I was level, not sure, 95 plus when I started crashing. So there's a couple of levels I made in the meantime in the Dwarven Mines. I played mostly on my giant character, the warrior, when I was not recording, and that resulted in a couple of things happening. One, I have explored more of the map, because the map is shared by both single player and multiplayer as well. So when I played off camera, the giant did explore new places, and those are shown on the map. And I also did start a multiplayer character, but the master server is currently down, so I haven't been able to play with anyone else, so I've been just using my own. Basically hosting the server in another window and then connecting to it locally. But that character is kind of stuck looking for a ball and chain to advance past Warlock 90. So I probably won't be recording any multiplayer content in the near future. The Giants also accidentally had a brain fart and progressed the main quest line one step further. If you remember, the quest we were previously at was to find the flame dragon and talk to him, and then return to Lord Garrick. But now we have to find the parchment of victims and return when we have it. Let's see what it says here about the dialogue. I guess this one has been on the screen before, but not the finishing part. So basically, no reward, just lore. And then the start of the mission number 10 talks about the torture chambers, a place I do know where it is. And you can find the parchment of victims there, as well as a good weapon, which I'm not sure if we can get it anymore, because I think in single player it's only one piece of it exists at any given time, unless you delete some file somewhere. I'm not sure if it's in the store currently. If it is, let's check it. I'm not seeing it. It might be on my Giants bank account maybe. But yeah, also the Giant did do some exploring that hasn't been captured on camera, and as a result the shop might have more items than it previously did. I'm not sure which ones of these are new ones. Let's quickly go through them. We have some Tivazas here, but I think these have all already been captured on camera. And Dagger Wizardry also maybe, probably Saber Blades as well, which is basically not class restricted for swing dagger. That would be kind of good. But I'm currently using the Wanderer's Cudgel, which offers very little in the way of defense, but gives you across the board 50% resistances, which are nice, and some special benefits, mostly importantly spell point regeneration of 10 and hit point regeneration of 10. But also it's convenient, giving 3 swings, providing levitation, invisibility, protection 12. Not sure how much that helps, if any, or if they stack with other sources of protection. And it sort of also crits. But it has kind of high stat requirements, so if I get drained by undead basically at all, my constitution drops to 21 and I unequip the cudgel immediately. But that's because I'm using this Artisan's Amulet, which doesn't increase my constitution, but it does give me more hit point and spell point regeneration. But I'm about to switch classes, so this one will become unequipped. I will probably return back to using the Amulet of Health, probably, which does in fact increase constitution by 1 and 10 points of hit point regeneration, so that gives me a buffer of getting 1 point of constitution drained and the cudgel will still stay on, so that's nice. And what else? Oh, I had this one as well, but I'm nowhere near the required class level to use it. Right, what else? It's currently in the middle of a heat wave in Finland. My apartment temperature is almost at all times near 30 degrees Celsius, So it's kinda hot in here. I'm not wearing that many pieces of clothes for obvious reasons. Good thing I don't have a face camera because you'd be able to see me kinda exposed. Differences between single player and multiplayer. In multiplayer you cannot really trade items on your own account. You need someone else to receive your items and then trade them back when you switch character. That's one of the serious limitations in multiplayer when it comes to playing by yourself. So that makes the whole tome fetcher and potion fetcher paradigm really difficult to pull off if you don't have a friend to play with. You can sell them to the shop, but buying them back will cost significant amounts of money that level 1 character might not be able to make. I did, however, go through making it all to get myself maximized constitution on my multiplayer human before leveling at all, but that meant that basically starting age was at 34 years old because you die so many times at level 1 when you get ambushed by enemies in multiplayer. Because in multiplayer it does seem like most of the enemies you encounter are initially hostile, even if it's somewhat alignment based. But basically there's a bit of lag involved even if you're playing locally, so when you enter a room, if you try and exit it immediately after entering, the server might say you are not allowed to move yet, please wait for me to get ready. But it doesn't really impair the enemies that much, so they'll be able to have a one round of combat before your retreat gets registered. So when you're exploring the topmost dungeon levels, you can indeed find enemies that are capable of easily dealing the 15 points of damage, which is equal to your starting hit points in one round before you get to retreat. And that means you die, you have to wait for rescuers, which ages you from a couple of months to maybe is it 300 days at most. And once you get resurrected, you age additional 8 weeks. So that's not really a nice thing to go through when you're trying to max out your starting constitution. I did discover an exploit that you can do to get infinite money, but that was after I had... Oh, nice, the quest item has been stored in the shop. Okay, I'll pretend I don't see that one. We'll do the quest the old-fashioned way. But yeah, once the Goblin Lord's head is in the store, you can buy it for 0 cost and sell it back for 1 gold. So basically have infinite money, but it's going to be very slow to make it, and you'll start to question yourself if it's really worth all that hassle when you keep doing it. But it might make your character ageless when you generate money that way to buy the starting constitution items. But it's obviously a bug or an exploit, and you really shouldn't be doing it if you want to play the game fairly, in case you're a masochist. But yeah, you can see that I'm level 100 artisan now, which is a point in the game where you get quested to, I think, return with an air elemental, and I don't have it right now, so it should say that the quest has not been completed. You must have returned with 1 air elemental as a companion. And this is a mandatory quest if you want to proceed past Artisan 100. The confinement might have air elementals in it if you manage to get them some way and sold them there. But looks like I don't have any. I think they should be grouped up with the elementals here. I don't think they have their own entries. Oh, I also have one thing here. That's nice. Level 100 villain needs to return with a Tengu. But I don't think I have any villain levels. In fact, I probably should have watched through the video where I got stuck to see what I was doing when I started experiencing those crashes. The only thing I remember is that I want to get the Wanderer Cudgel equipped, so, and probably advance to level 100 Artisan. But I'm not sure what I intend to do after that. I do have a kinda low warrior level and ninja in comparison. I might want to level up warrior to get some fighting ability from that guild. But it's going to have very high penalty value because I've advanced the other classes to a point that the bonuses they give are considerably higher than what I get from Warrior 26. So I'll probably be facing a penalty value of 1.5 as a warrior, meaning that I need 250% experience instead of 100% to advance, and that gets calculated in total experience. So I might have a couple 100k of idle tax to pay off before leveling up. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Yeah. Also in multiplayer, the Tavern Keeper does not actually work. You cannot use this as a shortcut to buy items from the dungeon that are spawned on floor, so getting the ball and chain is really difficult in multiplayer. Even though you know which monsters have a chance of dropping it, the chance is so small that you really need to bang your head against the wall before you get it. Once I multi-class, I'll have to unequip most of my items, and that means that my attack and defense values will drastically go down until I level up enough to re-equip them. And yeah, it looks like my bank is kinda full. Wonder if there are any bounties I could return to make some quick money. We see some of these usual ones here, like Treatise of Training and cursed items that give cursed items. Actually, this bulletin board is only for player-to-player communication. In multiplayer as well, you don't get these random quests in multiplayer, so you cannot get balls and chain from these sources either. So yeah, let's finally start playing again. Let's do the guild change to warrior. But I cannot do it because I'm wearing a cursed item, which I need to uncurse. And I think that's the sash. Yes, indeed. With restoration and good AD bonuses. So we'll have to uncurse it, pay the price, then go back to change our guild. It'll unequip a bunch of stuff. We need to store the sash in the guild again because the store won't hold cursed items at all. I wonder if there's anything here that I can safely sell that will then free up space. I guess it really depends on what the store has in multiple numbers or multiple amounts. I think most of the stat items, maybe excluding the arts, are full. Yeah, it has room for a couple of arts that I can sell, and that will free up some banking space so that I can at least put the cursed sash here so that it doesn't get nuked. And I think I can sell most of the other items here. They should exist in the shop. I think it's not full of adamantium plate armors yet, so we can sell this. These are probably filled up because they drop quite often. Yeah. This is the gauntlets and the precious silver cloak, 11 bracers, girdle of power, artisan's amulet, and boots of levitation. We probably don't need to equip anything for Warrior 26 to really make experience, but might as well. And now it unequipped my cudgel because my dexterity dropped below 22 because of the plate mail weighing down on us. We cannot equip a shield with the cudgel because it's a two-handed weapon, but I think we can equip that one. Guessing iron gauntlets as well. Cloak of Night allows us to re-equip the cudgel again. Guessing iron bracers. Yeah, let's use the Dorland sash. Why not? Girdle of Strength. And I think it's boots of swiftness because these are too high level, yeah. But rings are not class restricted, or at least that one's not. The pure mythinite is not. We do need the amulet. And that might be all. I don't have the guild crest yet, because I'm not at guild master level. Let's see the arts. The pure mutinity is better than Scarab for defense, I think. And we have a Dalin's tier, which I think is quite difficult to find. And it's awesome. Providing 35% stoning and paralysis resistance. Makes it a true lifesaver down there until you get enough casting ability in your own resistance spells to overcome that number. I don't seem to have that much money on this character. But we'll try to see about fixing it. I'll actually ask the giant to join. He's using the Robe of Kings. It is really good against draining, but also requires a high level. So he's just about earned it. And what else? This one he got from Warrior 162 Guild Quest as a reward. It's really nice. Basically 25 attack and 10 defense, because these stats increase those values as well. And bonus damage against giants. And I don't think I can get the Crest of the Warrior, because this character has it. I'd need to over level past 175 to get it to spawn on this character, which is a mishap on my behalf. Unless I delete some file which governs who are the current guild masters and make them return to their normal numbers. And then after leveling past them with this character, he'd gain his own copy of the crest, while this character retains his. So the bank on this character. Yeah, I'm not actually seeing the weapon you find with the parchment of victims here. Have I returned this spell to the guild yet? I might need to take a look if I have some spell books here that I could return that I haven't returned yet. I think that's another Treatise of Healing. Indeed. It's not a warlock spell. Why do I have multiple copies of them? No idea. Not sure if I've returned this one. Let's see. Shatter Spirit, yeah, I have. And what's this one? Codex of Fury. I think that's a sorcerer, yeah. Sorcerer spell. So Codex of the Elements. This might be some sort of resistance spell maybe. Not sure. Let's see what it says when I change back to Warlock. Try to donate it. Very interested. Resist acidity. That's nice. So I should now have it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have the mental resistance spell on this single player server, but I did find it in multiplayer. Huh. I wonder if it's on sale here somewhere. I can't really remember its name though. Or what it looks like. Nope, didn't see it. Okay. Let's change back to warrior. Bank our money. Re-equip the items that the warlock wasn't able to use, that became unequipped when I switched. And then let's finally enter the dungeon and see if we can play.